I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com, and today I have my friend Victoria.
Hi.
From England. And I'm from America, so today we're going to be comparing some adjectives that are different in England and America. 5 adjectives. Alright, the first one is...
Proper.
What does that mean in England?
I guess you would say proper means something is really legit or it's a real thing. So giving an example of, what did we say, a proper breakfast?
A proper breakfast? What would a proper breakfast be?
So I mean, if I think somebody's not having a proper breakfast, say they're just having a chocolate bar or a cereal bar and then they're running out of the door, I would stop them and say, no. You need to have a proper breakfast. Sit down, have a glass of orange juice, have a bowl of cereal, have an apple, and then you can go. So it's got to be thorough. It's got to be what we consider to be the right thing, like
a real legitimate breakfast.
A real legitimate breakfast. Like if you just have a cereal bar, that's not a proper breakfast.
So I think I would say in that instance, if someone was running out the door eating a candy bar, instead of having a nice, wholesome breakfast, I would say, you need to eat a real breakfast. But I think I could also say that is not a legit breakfast. Because I'm a young person, I can say legit, which is short for legitimate. But I think maybe some older people could say legit. It's becoming more popular. But in America, usually it's just younger people that say legit.
But I was going to say, if we said you need to have a real breakfast, even though we would understand that, it sounds a little bit like, well, I've had a fake breakfast.
Okay, I understand. The opposite of real.
The opposite of real is fake.
Okay,
and so that's why we say proper, because it just needs you to make it more.
So it's a little more specific than real.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, number 2 is...
dodgy. So I would, if I put this into context, I could say you could be in a dodgy part of town, which would translate into American as...
Maybe a shady part of town or a sketchy part of town, like a dangerous part of town?
Yeah, so it kind of means it's dangerous and maybe it's insecure, but it could also mean that something's broken. So if you have a trolley and
what's a trolley?
Oh.
A cart with wheels that you push?
A shopping cart.
Okay, yes, I would say a shopping cart. You say...
a trolley.
Trolley? Okay, right, we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. So if you have a trolley that you're wheeling around the supermarket, but it's going the wrong direction because one of the wheels is broken, you could say, this is a dodgy wheel. It's broken.
Okay, so it's got 2 meanings, kind of like a dangerous part of town, something that's dangerous.
Something that's shady, I think, yeah. And
something that's shady, or something that's broken.
Yeah. Dodgy.
What a good word. All right, word number 3 is an adjective that's usually used in a phrase.
Yeah, the word is fancy, but we often say fancy dress, and this specific context is when you have a party, a bit like you have at Halloween in the States, and everybody dresses up as a character. You dress up as whatever you want to be. Like, I'm going to go as Superman. I'm going to go as a gorilla. I'm going to go as...
a unicorn!
A unicorn! So, I've heard of poor little American students coming to fancy dress parties in the UK thinking that it's just when you dress up all fancy, meaning...
nice long dresses,
like a long gown,
pearls,
jewelry, and then arriving and seeing people in onesies and
dressed as animals and characters. So in America, if you said, I'm going to a fancy dress party, I would think that means you should wear a really nice, really expensive dress or a suit or a tie. But if I went to your fancy dress party dressed like that, you would think I was dressing up like the Queen or something.
Have you come as Marilyn Monroe or Audrey Hepburn? Nice outfit.
Well, I think for me, if I were to describe that kind of party, in America, I wouldn't say, you're invited to my fancy dress party. I'd say costume party. Like costume party or dress-up party.
It makes more sense. I don't know why we call it fancy dress, but we do.
Sure. All right, number 4. And
that leads quite nicely into it, doesn't it?
Yes, clothing is...
smart, but nothing to do with being intelligent.
Yes, another way to use smart.
Yes, so you can just dress smart or dress smartly. You can say either. And that just means, well, how would you explain it?
Well, at the moment, are you dressed smartly?
No. I'm wearing a jacket. So, I mean, just a sort of hoodie. This is not smart.
So where would you dress smartly?
I would dress smartly in the office. Or if I were still at school, I would be wearing, in England, school uniform. So I'd be wearing smart school uniform.
So you'd say, like, more professional clothing.
Yes.
Something that maybe has a collar or something that you could wear to an office or to a job interview and look presentable.
Yes. So something nice and posh. Did you say posh?
Posh, that's, I think, another Britishism. I understand. I think it's coming into America a little bit.
Okay.
But I think if you were to say to me, do you have any smart clothing, as if you were inviting me to go to some event and I needed to wear something a little dressier or fancier, and you said, do you have any smart clothing? I'm like, if I wear this clothing, I become smart, I become intelligent, like a smartphone or like a smart TV. Smart clothing? Wow, this is an amazing invention. So
I heard that you can call your friend just with your sleeve.
It's incredible. Yeah, so we wouldn't use that at all.
Oh.
It's quite British, which is why it's on the list. All right, and the final one is number 5.
Which is thick.
So there's 2 meanings to thick.
Yeah, so the literal meaning of thick is just, I mean, imagine bread. It just means it's a wide slice. Like if you have slices of bread, you can get thin slices, little bitty, and thick slices, nice and wide. But what we're going to talk about more is the figurative meaning, which just means stupid. So a person is thick. So you wouldn't say, oh, this stupid machine, this machine is thick. It's kind of about brains. So if she's a bit thick.
If you say somebody is if you say somebody is thick, it's an insult.
Yeah.
So I
It's an
think
insult. So it's not very nice. So don't try this at home, children.
And even in America, if you said someone is thick, it wouldn't mean mentally thick. It would mean a nice way of saying they're fat.
Oh.
So we would say, if somebody is fat, and we didn't want to say, oh, she's so overweight, wow, she is just obese. I wouldn't want to say that because that's kind of impolite. I could say, well, she's thick. And it would mean in a nice way that she's not thin, but she's not fat. She's just thick.
Oh, okay.
So it's maybe a kinder way of saying someone's fat. But you still probably shouldn't comment on people's weight in America or in England.
Or in England.
Yes.
Do it at your peril.
Yes, at your own risk. So I think in America, if we were to say someone is not smart thick, we would say just, oh, he's not smart or he's not too bright. And maybe in that way, it's showing it's like a negative. Like, we're not saying he's stupid, he's dumb. It's like, it's using the negative.
Yeah.
Like, he's not smart, he's not too bright, not he's thick. So maybe we're trying to use a more positive word, but in a negative way.
Whereas in Britain, we're just really rude.
That's not true.
We don't do it all the time. But.
Well, next time that you go to a proper part of town that's not dodgy, don't forget to wear your fancy dress costume and not your smart clothing.
Otherwise, you might come across a bit thick.
Aha! That was a beautiful sentence. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you learned some new exciting words in America and from England. And if you know any other adjectives that are different in these 2 countries, be sure to write them and we'll learn something new.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.